Hey guys, thank you for watching Razzle. This is Ryan here, and I am really excited because we got past the lulling September. We're finally moving into October where we're going to start to get some really exciting and good films. And that's what brings me to what this segment is. I decided to start a monthly show where I count down the 5 most exciting movies that are releasing in the next upcoming month. So I'm going to be doing the top 5 movies that excite me for October. I hope you guys enjoy it, and you guys feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. Give me your top 5. Tell me if you agree with me or if you disagree with me. That's totally fine because film's subjective. I'm looking forward to reading your responses, and without further ado, let's go. For number 5, I'm going with Joe Wright's newest film, Pan. This film was originally slated to release back in July, I believe. It's of course about Peter Pan. It's like an origin story by Warner Brothers. I'm really excited about this film. I think from the trailers, I've really been behind it. This has been a movie I've actually really highly anticipated for a while. I really liked all the trailers I've seen. The only reason that it's not higher on my list, unfortunately, the reviews coming through have not been fairly positive. I believe currently it's sitting at around somewhere in the 40s right now on Rotten Tomatoes, which isn't very good, but I still have a lot of optimism going in that I can still have a good time with it and it can still be a good movie. So number 5 for me is going to be Pan. Number 4, I'm going with Danny Boyle's newest film, Steve Jobs. I'm really excited about this movie, mainly because I'm a gigantic fan of Danny Boyle. I love his artistic, weird style that he uses in all of his films. I'm really looking forward to seeing his take on this. And of course, Aaron Sorkin writing. He's a wonderful writer, even though he does run into a couple things we like to call Sorkinisms. Which is where he recycles a lot of lines from all of his films. It's kind of crazy. You can find it on YouTube. I'm sure you can find there's like someone who recuts all of them together, like a whole bunch of recycled lines he uses in all of his films. I'm getting beside myself. Steve Jobs, I think, looks really good. Michael Fassbender looks insanely good in the role. Even though he doesn't look anything like Steve Jobs, I think he's really capturing who he is, and I think in a lot of ways, and he's acting his ass off in this. So I'm really impressed with what I've seen from him. Kate Winslet looks great, and Seth Rogen, I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do, even though we haven't seen too much from him. I'm not sure how big of a role he's going to have in the film. But this film, I think, looks really cool, looks really artistic, looks weird, it looks interesting. It looks like the whole structure of the narrative is interesting as it takes place. It looks like in a couple different parts of his life. So I'm really looking forward to this film. I think it looks really good. So Steve Jobs is sitting at number 4 for me. Number 3 for me is going to be Steven Spielberg's newest film, Bridge of Spies, starring Tom Hanks. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this movie. I mean, that's a 1-2 punch for Oscar season right there. Having Steven Spielberg directing and Tom Hanks is the lead role. You couldn't ask for a bigger bait for Oscar season. This film looks really good. It actually kind of ran under the radar for me for the most part. I kind of forgot it was coming out because I remember hearing about it, but then like they haven't really marketed it too much and everything. But I don't think that's any reason to worry because it's not like a huge film. I think it looks real. I think it looks like it really tackles a lot of deep themes. I think it looks. I'm really interested to see. It looks like. Tom Hanks really has to dig deep. Cinematically, it looks great. So I'm really down for it. I think the main reason it's so high, though, I gotta say, though, is because just seeing those 2 names on there, I mean, like, of course I'm excited about it. So number 3 is going to be Bridge of Spies. I'm insanely disappointed that in October only one horror movie is making it onto my list, and that number 2 is going to be Guillermo del Toro's Crimson Peak. I am so excited for this movie. I love Guillermo del Toro's work. I love this film. Looks visually stunning with its color palette and the style that he chose for each shot. It looks scary, genuinely. One thing I love about horror movies in general, I love horror movies with weird subgenres, different subgenres than what we're used to of these like haunted house, found footage films. I'm so done and tired of those films. That's why I'm so excited. This is like a fantasy horror, kind of like his work with Pan's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth was one of my favorite horror movies I've ever seen. I mean, it's not, most people wouldn't really call it a horror movie. It's more fantasy, but I think I think it's more fantasy with a sub-horror genre. But that's why I'm so excited. This is like a horror with a fantasy subgenre. So I'm really excited. I think it looks stylistically, it looks great. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Tom Hiddleston can do leading in this role. There's a lot of other the cast is huge and great. This film has a lot going for it right now. It looks scary, it looks fun. I'm really looking forward to watching this movie. That's why Crimson Peak is number 2 on my list. Number 1 on our list is none other than Ridley Scott's The Martian. This film looks insane. It looks like it has the best parts of what Interstellar had to me, because I really loved Interstellar for the first half, and then when it started to lose itself for me. This looks like it's going to handle just the parts of what Interstellar was that I loved, and I know that's a weird argument to make to compare to that, and I'm sure people are tired of hearing the comparison between the two films, but I am so excited. Even though I'm actually not a huge fan of Ridley Scott, I mean, of course, I'm a fan of all of his earlier work, and of course but his new stuff, I almost hate almost everything he's done for the most part. Prometheus was okay, but other than that, everything else has been like just really bad in my opinion. But this looks insane. I was really excited about the trailer. The cast is incredible. It's enormous. It has an enormous, insane cast. Matt Damon, of course, is leading the film. We have Chiwetel Ejiofor is in the film. Kate Mara. I know. Donald Glover's in the film. Like, it's a huge, I know that's not even, there's still bigger names, I can't even think of the name, because there's so many, the cast is so big, and it looks like it looks like a cool sci-fi. It looks visually great. It looks kind of funny. There's a lot of cool lines in there. It looks like it could be touching. It looks like it could be heartfelt. So I'm really looking forward to The Martian. That's why it's number 1 on my list. And yeah, The Martian, number 1 on my list. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Put it down in the comments. Let me know what your top 5 most anticipated for this month are. I'm really looking forward to reading and seeing what your opinions are, see if they're the same as mine, see if you disagree with me. I'm totally looking forward to it because film is subjective. So this has been Ryan Havens here from Razzle. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have a good October.